Hi guys, Ty here. In this video we're going to be covering Ushiro Geri and 3 different setups you can do to perfect your Ushiro Geri. When we talk about Ushiro Geri, we're talking about spin back kick, and although we say spin back kick, it's not really a spin so much. You kind of turning your body into a position where you can deliver a kick behind you. If I spin when I do my kick, I'm going to most likely spin off the target. And I want my kick to travel in a straight line. So rather than spinning, what you want to try and do is turn so your back is towards your opponent, and then you're kicking in a straight line. So it's more of a turning back kick as opposed to a spinning back kick. So what we're going to do, we're going to cover the mechanics first, and then I'm going to show you 3 different setups, what you can do to help with your Ushiro Geri. First thing, we're going to place our feet together, and we're going to just squeeze the hamstring and try and curl the heel up to his bum here. And again, always making sure you're looking towards the target and using your glutes to drive your foot back, exposing your heel. So we're trying to deliver the attack, and we're trying to connect with that heel, and we're trying to get the toes pointing down. We're going to try and connect our foot in this position here with the toes pointing down. If my toes are pointing to the side here, what you're doing there is spin side kick. That's not an incorrect kick, but it's not spin back kick. We're going to use our glutes to help deliver and drive the kick. So we're squeezing the hamstring. We're shaping our foot already. Notice I'm curling my toes upwards. And then I'm going to use the glutes and drive back in a straight line. And we're aiming sort of solar plexus level. Don't really want to aim for the head with this one. It's going to carry the most amount of power when it's level with your opponent's solar plexus. What I also want you to think about when you're delivering this kick is to help you understand the mechanics of the kick. Imagine you've got 2 walls either side of your body, and your knee is not allowed to travel outside of them 2 walls. So you've got to keep everything in really close here. And as soon as your knee goes out, it passes that imaginary barrier. So we're not allowed that. We need to keep everything in this line here. So we turn, we're looking, everything travels nice and straight towards the target. I'm going to show you a quick exercise that you can do to help you understand the mechanics of the kick. So what we're going to do, we're going to get down onto our hands and knees here, and we're going to curl our heel up to our bum and use your glutes and just drive back and really sort of get this feeling of locking your hip out straight. And you should have an imaginary line from your hip through your knee to your heel here, and then slowly bring it back in. Then you can do it with the other side. So curl your heel up and then drive, making sure you feel that straight line from your hip all the way down to your heel. So you can repeat that. You can do 20 reps on one leg and 20 reps on the other leg. So let's get into the 3 different setups you can do to help with your Ushiro Geri. Setup number 1, from our guard position, we're going to step our foot across like this. What we're trying to do is get a nice straight line with our rear foot, because that's the one that's going to do the kick. And we don't want anything to get in the way. So we step our front foot across. So now there's a clear line towards the target here. We're going to turn on the balls of the feet here. And then we're going to bring our heel up. And then we execute the kick and land back into our fighting position. Then we can try it on the other leg. So we're going to step over. So our back foot's got a straight line towards the target. Turn on the balls of your feet. And most importantly, look, make sure you can see your target. Take your left foot and squeeze your heel into your bum. Drive your foot out and turn back into your fighting stance. Setup number 2, we're going to bring our rear foot behind our lead knee here. So we're sort of hooking, and then all we're going to do is we're going to pivot on the left foot here, pivot, and then we're in this position ready to execute the kick. So show you again. Take the left foot, this time behind the right knee. And obviously when this is done fast, it's going to be a lot easier because you can use momentum to help turn. But from here, when we're doing it slow, you've got to turn and then execute the kick here and land. And one really important thing after the kick, when you kick, make sure you tuck it straight back in before you land forwards. The last setup we're going to do, start from your fighting position again, and we're going to have our feet a little bit narrower, and I like this one because there's no real setup and you're not really telegraphing what you're going to do, whereas the other two, you're stepping first or you're bringing your back foot up, and sometimes it can tell your opponent what you're going to do before you even do it. This one, we're just going to shove our heels forward and turn our hips like this. And then secondly, after I turn my heels, I'm going to look and bring the kick straight back here and just drive it in. Again, I'm shoveling the hips forward and I'm sort of corkscrewing my body down into the floor. Then turning and kicking here. That's setup number 3. With all 3 setups, what we want to try and do is make sure our rear foot or our kicking foot is in line with the target. So if we head on over to this bag again, if I line up my body with the target, when I do this kick, let's say if I use setup number 3 here, my foot is going to go to the side here. So I always want to try and get my rear foot in line with the target. So I'm going to step slightly over to the side, then I can turn, look, and kick. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. This is 3 setups for your Ushiro Geri.